Today we are looking at prototypes number 3 and number 4. And if you haven't been following along, these are for the G5 Summit series. The third generation series was in production for a decade or more. And we've introduced the fourth generation, which is lighter and more efficient. That's actually this one right here. It was just released last month. And now we're working on the fifth generation. The difference between the fourth generation and the fifth is that the fourth generation is designed and built with copper alloy parts, in other words, brass, bronze, and copper. Like this one is all brass and red brass. And the fifth generation, right now we're experimenting with other materials. So we are working with titanium, aluminum. Here we have stainless steel. And we're trying to find ways to lightweight the instrument while increasing efficiency so that it's lighter and easier to play for you. This one features a stainless steel tuning slide, but this is a G4, G5 prototype, meaning it incorporates some of the G4 series parts and some of the G5. Now, we have the very first G4 simple strut bracing in copper on this instrument. So prototype number 4 is the first one to ever have the copper bracing. This copper bracing could eventually be introduced on the G4 series. So I hope I made that clear. G4 is copper alloys, G5 is the other stuff. So the final G5 version, it will have either aluminum or stainless steel or titanium braces. So that's why this is a G4/G5 prototype. And it says so right here, G4, G5. They don't all say that, but I put it on there sometimes so you know. All right, so this one has copper as the simple strut. I'll bring this up and show you. This is a cool horn because it also features 7 different materials. We've got 2 different types of brass. Essentially, the brass that we machine is brass 360. The other brass that's for the other parts is naval brass. Then the bell is a gold brass because this is a 10G. So our number 10 taper with a gold brass, which means it has more copper in it. So we've got 3 materials right there. We have aluminum stems, that's 4. Copper braces, that's 5. The phosphor bronze mod kit, that's 6. And then the stainless steel tuning slide is 7. If you want to count the inner tubes, because all of our tubes are nickel, that's 8. I guess you could say 9 if you counted the Delrin for the Saturn water keys. We don't need to go that far. I'm going to call it 7. It's fun to mix all the different materials. It's fun to see it on here. And I'll hold it up to the camera so you can see it closer. But the end result is a horn that plays easier because it has the stainless steel tuning slide and it's lighter. So check out that copper bracing. And you can see how it actually kind of blends in with the bronze top and bottom caps. And these are a special limited edition top and bottom caps. So they are the crown variation, hollow crown. You can see we have the lattice structure bracing on the first slide here. And then also on the third. Like I said, the stainless steel tuning slide in this one features deep engraving throughout. And the engraving is actually a music theme. So this engraving does have a keyboard, has a guitar, it has a microphone, it has various instruments incorporated in it. The finger buttons are dendritic agate. We've got the contour finger rings on this one, so they're very smooth and feel very comfortable. Limited edition receiver, and this one has the Harrelson logo that's custom engraved. It's got the VGR system on it. This is a Lead Pipe 1 Bell 10G. I think I've kind of covered all the bases on this one. I want to mention that I built this number 4 and number 3 in this last week, and I'll show you number 3 in a second. As soon as I posted 3 and 4, just like kind of placeholder photos for them, I took like a snapshot of each one and put them on the website. What was it, yesterday? Somebody called in within an hour and ordered number 3. So unfortunately, it's sold before I could even get this video out. But I just want to remind you guys, a lot of people are jumping on the prototypes, and if you're really interested in one, you should call me sooner than later. Number 3 and number 4 are open for trades, meaning you can trade instruments towards part of the value. If you have enough instruments for me to be really interested, you could maybe trade for the whole value. If you want to purchase one of these horns right now, then they are available on the website. And being prototypes, you know, they're going to be historic instruments. Like, for instance, this is the very first trumpet I've ever built that has copper bracing, period. And it says right on it, stainless steel tuning slide, and then down here, lead pipe 1 Bell 10G, made in Denver, Colorado, and January 30th, 2025 is the build date. We just did the finishing on it. Right here it says hybrid copper, prototype number 4, G4, G5, Harrelson. So all that is marked on the horn. It's known this is the first one to have the copper bracing, and I wasn't sure it was going to work, honestly, because these copper braces are actually investment cast, which is a vacuum process, and to get them just right, so they were really high tolerance braces, required us to adjust for the shrinkage. It worked out just fine after we worked on it for a little bit, but yeah, I'm kind of like completely in disbelief that it works so well. One of the things I want to do in the future is create a copper tuning slide. I don't really know if that's ever going to happen, because the challenges with investment casting with a vacuum process are, you know, they're pretty serious. I mean, there are things that can happen that cause porosity, or that we just can't get enough vacuum to pull it into the chamber. So I'm not sure if it'll ever happen, but I'm really happy that it happened on the braces. All right, let's look at number 3, and then I'll play both of these for you. So this one is a little lighter than number 4, and that's because the mod kit is lighter. This has the lighter groove style, so we've got real fine grooves on the top and bottom caps, and these ones are hollowed out a little bit on the bottom. This one also features the Summit 1 finger rings, and the solid brass finger buttons, the red brass G4 simple strut bracing, and a tuning slide that is, again, laser sintered from stainless steel. So it's using a CNC type laser. So not CNC in terms of cutting. CNC means computer numeric control. It's a laser, a fiber laser that is sintering or welding laser special stainless steel powder into the form. And that's how this is made. Very expensive process, very expensive machinery to do that. And the results are pretty amazing, as you saw with the other one. These were the same exact tuning slide before I engraved that one. But yeah, very lightweight. It also has a custom receiver on it. It features the VGR system as well, so we can adjust flexibility, slotting, airflow, and impedance, meaning we can set it up to feel like the right amount of resistance in each register that you want to feel. And if you want to learn more about that, watch my other videos on the VGR system, the variable performance system, VPS, and Venturi gap receiver. Those two technologies work together with our mouthpieces and our receivers to give you the flexibility to adjust any horn to fit you, rather than you having to learn to fit the horn. And of course, both of these use Saturn water keys. This one says right on it, stainless steel tuning slide lead pipe 1 Bell 3R. So a different bell than the other one. And I'll say this, I have 3 more prototypes that I finished this week that are even further along in the G5 prototyping. I'll be creating a website or a web page on our website that shows the progress from the earliest prototypes from last year and the year before, all the way through the entire prototyping process, and with commentary and links to these videos, so you can follow along and see how I got from the 3rd generation to the 4th and the 5th. And I think it'll be interesting for you guys. And hopefully you learn something from it, because at the end of the day, what I'm doing here is creating solutions that are better for you. And I know that by providing the best solutions to you, then of course you'll buy them, right? I mean, that's what historically has always happened. And then you will support us in growing even further. And I don't know when a 6th generation will be, but I would guess the 6th generation Summit isn't going to happen for another 10 or 15 years, because really we're putting all of our time and our investment the last couple of years into these. So let's set this one down, and I'm going to grab a mouthpiece so we can check them out. I even brought music today, so I'll try to play something a little different. All right, so this is Prototype 4. So I just realized I forgot to bring inserts over here. It's not a real big deal, but because I don't have inserts for these horns, I will probably have a little more mouthpiece gap and not the correct impedance for me personally, but it should play just fine. There's my sight reading for the day. It feels really nice. I really should have brought over the inserts, so I'm going to stop the video and go grab a couple. Okay, I have a 346 number 8. That's kind of a large Venturi. It's larger than a Bach or a Yamaha. At the same time, the gap setting would be 80 thousandths, and that feels very comfortable to me, so I'm gonna go with that. I just press the insert on the end of the lead pipe, and then I screw the receiver back down, and then we play it. You get the idea. I'm just sight reading from a Sigmund Herring 30 etudes. I promised myself I would start practicing trumpet this week, which has been challenging because there's so many things to do with these prototypes. So my sight reading skills suck, and I'm doing my best here, but I'm trying to play some things that are actual music rather than me just improvising every time, because when I improvise, a lot of times people say, well, that's not classical or that's not jazz, and they want to hear a specific type, or you just want to hear me with articulation and other things. But the truth is, I really need to be practicing so I can play things for you guys. And hopefully I find stuff that's not protected by copyright on YouTube, because in the past I've played all kinds of things, and the YouTube videos were pulled down because of copyright infringement from things that were written in the 1800s. So I don't really get that. But I'm saying my goal is to start to practice again now that my heart surgeries are done and I had a 1.5 years of rehab and I'm back to where I can play. I want to play for you guys. But let me just kind of mess around a little bit as well, because I'm way better at that. Yeah, I would say that this insert feels very comfortable. I know I've played this size in the past. Even though the Venturi is a little bit bigger, it feels fine to me. And this instrument has a nice, big, warm, vibrant sound. It's not too much of the upper overtones. It's more warmth than brilliance. Yeah, I can slide around very easily. That feels very, very comfortable. And this is on the Spectratone Blue mouthpiece. I'll put Spectratone Red in, which is the more brilliant. Now that definitely brightens it up a lot. Yeah, that has a lot of punch. I'm going to go back to Spectrotone Blue and play something a little more melodic. Oh, that's so pretty. So this is the G5 prototype number 4. I'll mention a few things about it. Holding it, I have fairly large hands. My thumb fits perfect. It's got a little extra room. My third, or my ring finger, is fairly tight with gloves on. So if you have large hands, without gloves, you'll probably be fine. The pinky ring hook that I have here, it does feel very comfortable. It's a very nice form fit. You could have a bigger one, but that one feels just fine as well. And let me back up. This is number 3, not number 4. So this is the prototype number 3, because here's number 4 sitting right here. And we'll play this one next. And again, this one has the 10G bell on it, but no insert. So let me take the insert out of that one and put it in this one, because I like that. It felt good. And with our trumpets, you can take an insert that you like and put it in any of our trumpets that has a VGR system, which is most of them, and it will feel like the same kind of impedance, the same kind of resistance as it did on the first horn. Now, some things might change a little bit because of the lead pipe and bell changes, but overall, it's going to be a very similar feeling of resistance. And that's one of the reasons I created this system in the first place, is so that we have that consistency when you're testing horns and also when you own them. Oops. That feels nice. And I can't believe I can actually sight read the Charlier. I'm not really sight reading. Excuse me. I'm not really sight reading because I did play this 25 years ago. But I've had a lot of memory loss, and it feels like sight reading for sure. So this is the one with the copper bracing and the bronze mod kit. In my opinion, these are equally matched instruments, 3 and 4. I was testing 2 different stainless steel tuning slides, and specifically I was testing the way the tuning slides were connected to the nickel tubing and the way that I connected the water keys to the tuning slides. I'm trying different types of solder and different types of high-end adhesives. So I work with the 3M R&D lab, as well as other companies that make adhesives that are specific to metals. And probably, let's see, maybe 15 or 20 years ago, I had the R&D lab at 3M making me different kinds of adhesives to try to glue together brass trumpets. And they just reached out to me one day, I think because I was in the Minneapolis area and they were nearby, and asked me to test these different adhesives. And ever since then, we've worked together, and they help me out with different things for different projects. And it's the kind of thing where every couple of years I try something new. And this one does have adhesive between the stainless steel and nickel parts on the tuning slide, which was really cool because, you know, normally we have to silver solder these, and all the previous prototypes with stainless steel on them were silver soldered. These ones are some special high-end adhesive that's supposed to be just as strong, and it seems to work just fine. I have no problems. I'll mention that I did finish the other 3 prototypes that are coming, 5, 6, and 7. So you'll see a video on those probably late next week. I don't know if I mentioned this, but yeah, the 3rd one did sell as soon as I put it up. The 4th one is still available. We are accepting trades towards some of these prototypes. This one, number 4, we will accept partial or even full trade if you have a bunch of instruments that are in great shape and you want to trade them towards one of these prototypes. These are one-of-a-kind horns. Like I said, that's the first instrument I've ever built with these high vacuum investment cast braces in copper. That's a first. That'll go down in history as a first. And I wish I could just justify keeping them all because I'd love to, but as you know, I'm building and not playing. That wouldn't make any sense. Also, if you buy one of these prototypes, I do ask that you give us feedback. So that is a requirement of buying any of these prototypes, is that we do in fact need you to follow up with us after 30 days and give us your impressions of the instrument. I'll ask you a couple questions. We'll have a short phone call and there'll be a little written part. It's very simple, but I do need that feedback on these prototypes. So yeah, number 3, I listed it and it sold like an hour after I put it on. And I only put one photo of the instrument on there, but they're kind of a hot commodity because people want these new materials and these new instruments. And if you find one that sounds like the right fit for you, the right lead pipe and bell and configuration, then you might want to jump on it. 5, 6, and 7 are coming. Number 5, I'm trying to remember which one's which. Number 5 is featuring an aluminum tuning slide. So this one is laser sintered out of metal powder using a fiber laser out of steel. Then number 5 is an aluminum tuning slide. It's extremely lightweight, the same shape, and the water key and the tubes and everything are held with another different adhesive, so another new trial. And then on number 6, that one is stainless steel, but it's a solderless stainless steel process. So in other words, we're using adhesives to put the stainless steel braces on up here and stainless steel braces down here. Completely new prototype, testing more adhesives with stainless steel and brass. And then number 7 is really cool because it's titanium, and the tuning slide's solid titanium, laser sintered instead of stainless out of actual titanium powder. And it turned out amazing. And that one features our lightest stainless steel bracing that we're prototyping. And that one, I think, will be the lightest instrument we have ever built with one of our SWE lead pipes. The next phase after that will be eventually to create the lead pipes that are higher efficiency with a lower weight value as well. So I'm going on and on. I just want you guys to be able to follow along with the process of prototyping the G4 and G5 components. This copper bracing may become an option on the G4 series later this year if we can get the production process down. So copper might be an option there. It might even be an option for some of the other braces, maybe even the finger rings. And then on the G5 series, we'll see if aluminum or nylon, did I mention that? No, I didn't. The aluminum tuning slide horn has nylon bracing. Or maybe it's the titanium one. I built so much stuff lately, I can't remember which one's which. But it is the aluminum one has the nylon. And that was a really interesting adhesive. I'll talk about it in the next video. But essentially, we're working through all these prototypes to create the lightest horn as well. So we want highest efficiency, lowest weight for the customers that are asking for that. Let me play this a little more and then I'll let you guys get back to your day. That's just fun to play. Thank you for watching. If one of these horns interests you, feel free to give me a call, 303-657-2747. Remember, number 3 is sold. The new buyer is flying in to pick it up next week. Number 4 is available. 5, 6, and 7 aren't even on the website. I will accept trades. Cash plus trades, you're going to get a better deal, and cash, even a better deal, simply because cash is king, you know? But yeah, if you have something in the closet or a few horns, you want to consider trading towards one of these, I will consider it towards a prototype only, not towards the new pre-orders for the G4 or the G5. Thank you again. I'll see you next time.